Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Malicious Compliance. In today's episode, I'm not authorized to go get water? Alright. Update. I'm not allowed to get water? Okay. You want me to work 9 to 5? Got it. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. I'm not authorized to go get water? Alright. Now before I start, here's a bit of context for this situation. I work in the boat industry as an engine tech and parts painter. I know, quite a broad range right there. Anyway, the company I work for is quite old and the building I work in is even older. The heating system is trash and we really lack anything in the way of air conditioning, and it's boiling outside right now. Earlier today, I had started overheating really quickly as the temperature rose in the building. I have a medical condition where my body can't regulate temperature well, meaning I am at risk of passing out. I was going to go get a bottle of water from the fridge to help me cool down when I was stopped by one of the company's managers. Let's call him Kyle for this story. Kyle, where are you going? Me, I was only going to go get some water. Kyle, you're supposed to be working right now. You can get the water during the coffee break. Me, I don't think you understand that I can actually be in danger from this heat right now. So, could I please go get one bottle of water? Kyle, no. You're not authorized to leave your work before the clock strikes. Now shut up and get back to work. Me, Roger that. Keep in mind that this conversation was held in front of my coworkers. Cue malicious compliance. I got back to work, making sure to put on some extra coal, just to make sure I made up for lost time. Basically, I was forcing my body into shock and heat stroke was just around the corner. Fast forward around 30 minutes, I had to tell my coworkers through my strained breath that I don't feel too good. Which was actually even worse now, as I was working on deck of one of these boats, give or take 3 meters above the floor. When I made my way towards the ladder to climb down, I only got out a very strained "oh shit" as I fell off the back and was headed straight for the concrete floor below me. Lucky for me, some coworkers reacted fast enough and managed to catch me before my head was split open on the floor. I woke up in an ambulance around an hour later. The EMTs were checking my vitals and were actually helping me. My boss came up to the door and asked me what happened. I told him exactly as I told you guys, and I also told him to check with my coworkers if he didn't believe me. Long story boring, I was brought to the hospital for a checkup just to make sure I actually didn't suffer any kind of trauma from the fall. A buddy of mine came with me to make sure I got there and back safe. A few hours passed, and my buddy got a call. He picked it up, and it was Kyle. My buddy handed me the phone, and I heard Kyle on the other end apologizing for actually almost getting me killed. The short version is that he was heavily reprimanded for what he told me and was put on watch. Didn't lose his position though, so I guess I didn't fully win. But he was liable for the medical compensation for my situation. I did forgive him, and just to rub it in a bit, I just had to ask him, "Am I authorized to get water next time?" And my buddy just laughed. Edit, I already got OSHA on the line and they're launching an investigation into this. So, if nothing else, I just made Kyle's week even more horrible. Also, for those who wondered, Kyle is pretty new and is basically a bit of a brick? Can I call him that? Whatever. He's rough around the edges and generally doesn't believe people when it comes to their personal health. He's got that kind of "if you can talk, then you can work" mentality. So, in a way, he kinda deserved this. OSHA will have a field day with his actions. Glad you're okay, and he was reprimanded. Yeah. It was a close shave though. Safe to say. Won't be doing that again. If you can, try making this a teachable moment for Kyle. This hard-ass ignore your health approach is dumb. I'm going to guess Kyle doesn't enforce safety glasses, respirators, or fall protection. If he's open to it, you might save someone's life. Your answer should have been, I don't need authorization. Denying an employee the right to drink water is illegal and dangerous. It should be, but in Texas, they just killed those requirements. You are stupid to put your life at risk in that way. It's a petty way to get back at someone that might have caused you serious injury or death. Your medical condition is your business, and despite your actions, you are an adult. If you felt you needed water so your condition didn't worsen, then why are you letting anyone tell you no as if you are a child? I understand wanting to pass out, but the ladder was just stupid. The ladder is to get up and down in the boats. I tried to get down from there. But as I stated before, I didn't even make it to the ladder. This is the stupidest thing I've ever read. Agree. I have to call utter BS on this post for a couple of reasons. 1. OP is either incredibly foolish and reckless with their health and well-being to risk serious injury or even death out of spite, or this is made up. 2. OP claims OSHA is involved whilst also claiming Kyle apologized to him. OSHA is only applicable in the US. In the US, an apology following personal injury or a lost time work incident is effectively an admission of liability. There's no way any company would allow a de facto admission of liability in a case like this. I think this is a work of fiction. Keep in mind that this conversation was held in front of my co-workers. Cue malicious compliance. It's actually Q, but you don't need to mention it anyway, because we expect there to be malicious compliance in your post. This is our /malicious compliance. Update. I'm not allowed to get water? Okay. First of all, hello again. I'm the idiot that almost died to prove a point. Before I continue, to all of you who are concerned about my safety and health, thank you. I never realized how many would care. I'd also like to apologize for literally putting my own life in danger to prove a point. It was stupid. My family, the nurses, my girlfriend, and many of you made me realize just how stupid I was, and I will be more careful in the future. I am now out of the hospital after being completely stabilized, and I don't have any major trauma from this ordeal. So don't worry. Anyway, for those of you not in the loop, check my profile for the previous post. For those of you who already know, let's get into this. A lot of things happened so far. My aunt, the main nurse assigned to me, and the nurses I knew personally all cussed me out for what I did and told me to make sure I better get health and safety to invade my job for this. My aunt put me in contact with a representative, and I had a lengthy chat with said representative. This got the ball rolling for investigations to start. What I didn't expect was that even police had to get involved. I was released from the hospital after a day and was told that I could work, but I was entitled to 10-minute breaks every hour if the temperature rose above 25 degrees Celsius indoors. Which, basically, is every hour of the day. Anyway, I clocked in today and was immediately approached by a man and woman in high-vis and hard hats. The woman introduced herself as the representative I had spoken to on the phone, and she basically asked me to backtrack and explain in detail what happened. I did, and she wrote everything down and let me be on my way, after reminding me to abuse my medical papers as much as I felt like. Dunno why. She just said that and walked away. Didn't hear much more after that. The entire company was called into a large meeting about personal safety. And it was quickly established that I was the cause of said safety meeting. Whoops. Anyway, we were informed that Kyle, the Dillweed manager, had been demoted to a normal worker, and that we would be entitled to 5-minute breaks every hour due to the heat. Nice. He also said that due to the heat, the company would be purchasing drink coolers, fans, and would be compensating any worker that had to go home due to illness prompted by the heat. This part, though, shocked me. Frost is not allowed in any engine bay until winter due to temperatures in there being close to a sauna. We don't need him to almost die twice to understand his condition is severe. Basically, anywhere the heat rises above 30 degrees Celsius, I am not allowed in for my own safety. That's as far as this situation has come. Once again, to those who were worried about me, thank you, and I'm sorry for making you worry about someone like me. Thank you for your time. Usually somebody dies to make people take safety seriously. Well done for it only being nearly. This story particularly angers Greg Abbott. I don't understand how a wheelchair user can hate other wheelchair users so much. I was one of those who told you off in your last post. I am so glad you are okay now and that you have a great set of people around you. Stay safe and take care of you. You want me to work 9 to 5? Got it. I work on a case with people from many different areas. Most of the people on the case work in a time zone that's 3 hours ahead of mine. This means that I am often on meetings or depositions that start at around 7 a.m. or earlier. A couple of weeks ago, I attended several days of a deposition, starting at 5:30 for me each day. Those days, I left the office at around 3 o'clock. My manager then called me into her office and demanded to know why I was leaving early every day. I told her about the situation, but she did not care. She said, "This is a 9 to 5 job. It doesn't matter if you're in earlier, you leave at 5 o'clock. Otherwise, people will think it's okay to come in and leave whenever they want." Well, 9 to 5 it is. I started arriving in the office promptly at 9. This unfortunately led to me skipping several meetings, but alas, it cannot be helped. One meeting I skipped, scheduled for 6 a.m., is an important bi-weekly one that my manager is also supposed to attend. She has never attended and always relies on me preparing her a report on the meeting, so she can present it to her boss. When she asked for the report, I informed her that I was unable to attend the meeting, since I work a 9 to 5 job and I don't want to give anyone the wrong impression. No report, sorry. As I left promptly at 5, I peeked through the window to her office and got a great view of her trying to explain herself to her boss. Today, she called me and dejectedly informed me that I can leave the office whenever I want from now on. I just don't understand why there are so many bosses and managers who chose control over common sense. Good job, OP. I would rather work a few hours before everyone gets in and leave early myself. I used to schedule my home care cases as early as possible. I loved the days when I completed 4 before lunch. 5 was my goal for the day, and anything more than that would mean an easier day later in the week. Now I teach, and I would rather get in at 6 to plan and set up for the day than stay after school when I am tired and try to think about what I want to do tomorrow, and then the next day have to remember everything that I set up. Sorry for the rant, summer break is upon us and I am a bit bored. I joined my current office in December last year at 8 hours, Monday to Friday. Then, they pressured me to work for 8.5 hours. They also wanted me to work on Saturdays with some extra pay, which I didn't accept. It's June, and now they want me to work for 9 hours every day because that's what everyone else is doing. And my leaving early by half an hour is impacting their morale. I am a content writer. I can easily work from home. I am at my wit's end with this place. Ask to work from home. Then nobody will see you stop after 8 hours. If you're on salary, that's ridiculous that they want free hours from you. You did that perfectly. Well done. No thanks, boss, I've kind of grown accustomed to normal working hours. LOL. She was so focused on the till 5 and just expected you to keep coming in early anyway. Well done. Bosses are complaining about perception, but is it really too hard to say he started working at 5 this morning? When you start doing that, you can go home early too. I can almost guarantee that would put a stop to complaints. So did you decline and make her go to the 6 a.m. meetings that are actually her job? Today, she called me and dejectedly informed me that I can leave the office whenever I want from now on. Decision time. Was the 9 to 5 experience better in any way? Due to insane Bay Area, CA traffic, my brother used to get into the office pretty early, 6:30 to 7 a.m., for an 8:30 a.m. start time. Because of this, he would typically leave 15 to 20 minutes early to get a slight edge leaving the parking lot. His boss talked with him about the perception of leaving early. "No problem," he said. He stopped working at the 8-hour mark, no matter when it was, and started playing music in his office or loudly watching videos from his phone. It took about a week of wasting time and distracting others before his boss told him he could change schedules. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.